Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, family and friends. Today I got part 2 on Ted Cruz. If you missed part 1, when I did it over the weekend, there was a lot of Facebook traffic, so it wouldn't let me go live. It kept cutting off. So I just recorded it and I uploaded it on YouTube. If you scroll down, you can find it on my page. You can find the link to part 1 of Ted Cruz. It was a banger. But I got more today for you. Okay? But first, got to talk about the DNC, the Democratic National Convention. It's been going on this week, and it has been like a celebration of love and happiness, a feeling of peace and excitement that's going through there. It's been really interesting. Okay. In contrast, poor little Tink Tink, poor little Tink Tink. Voldemort has been spiraling. It's almost depressing how sad it is. For those of you that don't know, the blue private jet that he's been flying around, the blue one that's got Trump on the side, did you know that that's Epstein's old jet? What? Yeah. A fan or supporter or whatever bought Epstein's old jet, and Donald Trump has been using it as a private jet, campaigning, flying around. How do you know this? How do I know this? Well, it's called freedom of information. The plane, every time you fly, you land, whatever, you gotta submit your flight plan, all that kind of stuff. Every plane has a transponder code in case it gets lost or whatever. The serial number is the same. The serial number on a plane, the same thing as VIN number on your car. You can get a new paint job, you can change the license plate, but the VIN number, the serial number, that stays the same. Okay, so just so you know, as weird as that is, that's just interesting news for you. He's flying around in Epstein's old plane. Okay, now remember I told you guys that all you have to do is listen to Republicans, and they're either, anytime they say something bad, it's something that they have done, something they're in the process of doing, or something they're going to do. For simplicity's sake, from now on, we're just going to call that projection and confession. I don't know where I heard that, but I heard that somewhere. Projection and confession. And I'm like, oh, that's good. That sounds better than my 3 points. I'm just going to use that from now on. Okay. So, projection and confession. Donald Trump, for the last 4 years, he's been talking about how the election was stolen, right? They stole the election. Blah, blah, blah. Did you know that in 2016, Hillary had 3 million more voters than Trump? 65 million people voted for Hillary, 62 million voted for Trump. Her election got stolen. Oh, is that a confession? But you didn't hear her crying and complaining. She allowed the peaceful transition of power, and she was like, okay, I lost. That's the way the game is played. You did something the way the Electoral College works, you got it to work out for you. So now, fast forward, 2020. That's why he's got charges pending in Georgia, because he tried to do some election hocus pocus. So he was like, "Hey, Georgia, I need you guys to find me some extra votes so that I can win that state." That's what that nonsense is all about. Okay. Biden, by the way, beat him by 7 million votes, and he's still crying and complaining. Like, nah, son, you got to give that out. That's played out, okay? Now, that leads me into my next point, because Trump is running around like Chicken Little. Oh, the sky is falling. Everything's bad. America's in bad shape. Things aren't good. Chicken Little, if you guys don't know Chicken Little, it's a story, fairy tale, fable, kid's story about a chicken who ran around yelling, "The sky is falling, the sky is falling." And he got all the other farm animals to join in and be like, "Oh my goodness, Chicken Little said the sky is falling, the sky must be falling." Okay? He had Henny Penny and loosey-goosey and foxy-loxy. You get the idea, okay? So that's where we're at with Ted Cruz. I didn't forget about you. I told you I was going to get you. I told you I was coming for you all this entire election cycle, okay? Ted Cruz is like one of them farm animals following around. Chicken Little said the sky is falling, so the sky must be falling, okay? Ted Cruz is, for the longest time, has been talking about the border, danger at the border security. We're in Texas, bro. If you cared so much about the border, why did you vote against the border bill, which was co-founded by a conservative Republican? That's what bipartisan means. It means Democrats and Republicans worked on it together. If you were so concerned about the border, why'd you vote against it? Okay. Ted Cruz oftentimes talks about crime. Crime is so bad, and he matter of fact, he's one of them dudes that talks about crime in Chicago because Chicago has a Democratic mayor. Okay? Texas is a Texas state. We got Republicans all the way down in Texas. Okay? What he doesn't say is that number of deaths per year, gun deaths per year, Texas is number one in the country with, on average, 4,600. We're number one. Number two is California with like 3,400. Number three is Florida with 3,200. These are on average, okay? Texas is number one in average number of deaths per year, all right? That's not even including, we're not even talking about the mass shootings, which we've had 9 in Texas, 9 mass shootings over the last 14 years. I mean, I could go down the list, but for those of you in Texas, we pretty much know them all. You know, whether we're talking about Sutherland Church, Santa Fe School, El Paso at the Walmart, Uvalde, Cleveland, Texas, Allen, Texas at the mall, which is just north of Dallas, Austin. There's a bunch. I'm not even talking about domestic violence ones, road rage, all that stuff. We're number one. Okay, now that's just average number of deaths per year. But if we want to do per capita, you know, keep in mind, there's a difference between the average total number of deaths and per capita. Per capita is like how many deaths out of every 100 or every 1,000 people. Did you know that the top nine states out of 10 are all Republican states? Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, Missouri, Montana, Alaska, Arkansas, South Carolina, and Tennessee. 9 out of 10 per capita gun deaths. All right. Not interested in that? That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to. When I tell you there are 19 MAGA Republicans on the ballot in Texas this year, 19. And what I mean by MAGA Republicans, these are people that were either refused to certify election results that were Democrats won, or they tried to pressure other officials not to certify. Ted Cruz, he's one of those dudes. So projection and confession, they're already talking about how the election is rigged. They're the ones trying to rig it. They're telling you what they're doing. All right? Dan Crenshaw, District 2. Keith Self, District 3. Pat Fallon, District 4. Lance Gooden, District 5. I could go down the list, but I'll save you some time. Every single Republican in Texas is an election denier. That makes them MAGA in my book. Now, my biggest problem with Ted Cruz is I don't think, and I don't mean this facetiously, I don't think Ted Cruz, I think he's soft. And I don't think he's a real, I know it's sincere, I don't think he's a real man. And I don't mean biologically, okay? Let me explain. When he was running for presidential, when he wanted to get the nomination for president, he didn't have anything nice to say about Donald Trump. Didn't like the man. Donald Trump turns around and not only talks trash to Ted Cruz in his face, calling him whatever nickname he came up with, but talked about his wife. Like, bro, I'm Texan. I got the Star, Cowboys. I mean, heck, even my slides are got the Star on it. I'm Texas strong. Throw up the X, man. And if you said something about my lady and didn't apologize sincerely, we're gonna have a problem. We got beef. You gonna have, either I'm gonna whoop you or you're gonna have to whoop me. We're never gonna be cool. Okay? And Ted Cruz is kissing this man's butt. He's bowed down, and joined the cult. And just let that slide. Let him talk about his wife and did nothing about it. Like, that's not, come on now. When the power was out and people were freezing for not having power, not having heat in their homes, he up and took his family to Cancun, Mexico. And when he got caught and called out, what did he do? He blamed his daughter, one of his daughters. So how can this dude get up every day, look himself in the mirror and say, yes, I'm a man. Look his wife in the face and say, yeah, I'm kissing the butt to the dude who was talking trash to you. Look his kids in the face knowing that they're like, Dad, you let this dude talk trash about mama. This is the guy we got representing us in Texas? Or one of the guys? No. You better hope that none of my videos ever go viral. Because if they do, I'm going to make it my mission to get rid of all you MAGA Republicans in Texas. I don't care if other Republicans take your place. Because most of these dudes are running unopposed. Like there's nobody running against some of these dudes. Okay? So they literally win by default because nobody's running against them. If I tell you, if any of my videos go viral, I'm going to make it my mission to get rid of every one of y'all. One of y'all fake Republicans here in Texas, your rhinos, your Republican in name only. MAGA Republicans are not real Republicans. They're fake. They care about themselves and not about the people they're supposed to represent. Anyway, I'm gonna stop before I go too far. I'm not gonna let this guy upset the rest of my day. I'm gonna have a nice rest of my day, and I hope you guys do too. Thank you.